Let me come in here very quickly because you just painted a scenario that what comes to mind is we recall how the fighters were able to decimate, now I'm talking about the warplanes, were able to decimate the stronghold of Boko Haram, and all of those places they had taken and hoisted their flags were reclaimed by Nigeria. But it would seem as if now what we're saying is, well, individuals or cell leaders trying to go in on their own to cause some harm. For instance, what happened in Paris, you see that someone was prevented from getting into the stadium, just the same way someone was prevented from getting on the plane here in Nigeria. Intelligence comes back to play, and you're saying that we're doing pretty well in that regard. What are those things you think that the people will see to making them know that intelligence is in place, or how can the people help in that regard?
Okay, thank you very much indeed. You see, I want to let the public understand that what we are dealing with is not a conventional threat. We call it asymmetric threat. It's a kinetic asymmetric threat. And therefore, you cannot deal with it. The tools needed to fight a conventional war are different from the tools you need to fight an asymmetric threat. And to be more simplistic, you need a multi-agency process to be in place. It is not that, just within the purview of the military. Boko Haram, there is a clear difference between insurgency, terrorism, militancy, and they all require different tools to deal with. Now,
hold on.
Yes.
Because you have to tell us what exactly is happening in Nigeria's northeast. For the first thing, you say there's a difference between insurgency, we know militancy, and terrorism.
Right.
So let's talk about insurgency and terrorism now.
Okay, good. Now, terrorism. Terrorists seek to cause maximum destruction, and they work from what motivates them is radicalization. They are people who have been radicalized in a belief system. And so when they believe what they believe in, and they've been radicalized to believe that this is what they are doing is for good, they seek attention. They seek press like you. Oh, we've been able to blow up a stadium, and then there's a big, and they want to, cause maximum fear in the population. Like you saw the stampede in Paris, I think yesterday.
So the more the casualty, the more they feel happy.
Yes, the more the damage, the more the publicity they get, the happier they get. They feel that they are making progress. Whereas insurgents seek to control territory. And they also, that territory they will seek to control, they will not, there's a limitation to how much damage they want to cause, because they want to win the hearts and minds of people there to join their cause. So they are more restrictive. Even though they use terror as a weapon, they are also more restrictive and selective in the use of terror as a weapon, just like militants also do.
So can we say we have both in
So
Northeast?
now we had terrorism, but eventually has migrated to insurgency today in the Northeast. Boko Haram were just plain terrorists. They weren't seeking territory in the past, and they were just radicals, people who have been they were religious extremists. You see, that's why they are talking about education, not Western education, being taboo, because they've been radicalized to believe that this is against their norm as a belief system. So, and you cannot fight, use conventional weapons. You can't use bombs or guns to destroy what is in a man's heart. All you need to do is to look at it from the panacea for this time around is to de-radicalize such individuals and the population they seek to recruit from, to make them understand that you do not need to go this way. This is the way you need to go.
Who can help in doing that?
That's why I say it's a multi-agency process. And I'm sure all the people you've been interviewing as experts, they've been – enumerating series of problems. And I liken what we're dealing with like the blind man who went to the zoo to see an elephant. Somebody touched the broadside, another person touched the tusk, another person touched the tail, and each one of them came back to tell a different story. Somebody said the elephant is like a rope, another person says like a wall, another person says like a horn. Depending on, another person even said it's like a fan because he touched the ears. But at the end of the day, you find that the elephant is a totality of all these whole things put together. So what we are dealing with requires a multi-agency solution. As a matter of fact, this is part of the problem that I'm having because Nigeria have not been able to concretize and domicile some of the conventions and laws we have signed. As far back as 2004, it has been recognized that we need to, every country should go back home and put up a structure, a counter-terrorism structure. And this structure is supposed to be a multi-agency structure, such that even foreign assistance can have something to lean on when they come here. I remember the last administration, every time we go to each country, we are begging them to come and help us to fight terror. But we are the ones who live on the ground. We know where these terrorists are. We know the corridors. We know the terrain. They should have people to work with. They should have a structure to lean on.
So there should be something like...
yes, like a national counter-terrorism agency. We need to put up something like that. Even the media should be part of, should have a unit in that agency. You look at even like, I give an example now. If somebody comes to poison the waterworks in Abuja today and puts poison in there, the water goes to every home. I'm using that as an example. I hope I'm not giving ideas. Now, you will find that it is not the job of the military to determine that. Possibly it could be maybe NAFDAC, maybe it could be the Ministry of Waterworks, who knows the pipings and how the waters go, the tanks and everything, and say, okay, shut up this tank, this one is not good for consumption, this is the one we can drink, cut off that supply and we can't drink it because there is poison here. So we need agencies, even the political class have a cell there, because we need the political will to move from the moment to the new level we want to be. So the political class have to be, you cannot fashion a counter-terrorism initiative without allowing it to go through the political lens, as it were.